There once was a man, a prophet by the name of Elijah. One day, he was on his way to Zarephath and met with a woman who was drowning in debt. Because her late husband had passed away, all the wealth she needed to sustain her and her family were dwindling away. And here comes Elijah, asking this widow to spare him a drink. Now, you would think a prophet would understand her situation and dare not ask her for anything. But this wasn't a request out of selfishness. This request was to open the door to a miracle she didn't know she needed. The widow confessed to how little she had to the great prophet. Now, what he instructed her to do would go on to change this woman's life and financial history forever. He instructed her to grab as many jars as she could, pour the oil you have in your home into every jar you come across. When you run out of jars, so too will the oil run out. Without hesitation, she did as he instructed, for he prophesied that she will not run out of oil or flour. Thus, she acted on faith, grabbed all the jars she could find, even borrowed some from her neighbors, and filled it all until she ran out of jars. Then, she did the next thing he instructed her to do. Take the oil and give it to the debt collectors. Not only will it pay off all your debts, but it will cause you and your son to thrive during this famine until the rains come. All of this happened in 1 Kings 17, 7-24. What we must adhere to this story is the principle of profitability. All the time you hear of news reporters asking the world's richest what their secret sauce for success really is. And sure enough, if you're really paying close attention, all of their answers line up with biblical principles. To put it simply, there is no secret to success. If it was a secret, absolutely no one would be able to sustain their riches, and absolutely no one would climb to financial heights in the 21st century. But we hear of Elon Musk, the richest billionaire in the world, who surpassed Jeff Bezos, Warren Buffett, and Bill Gates. Did he have a secret sauce? No. He based his success on plain, simple, and profound principles. Principles I dub the 4 P's of profitability. There's no science to it. There's no mathematical equation or formula, no hidden messages or philosophical meanings to it. It's as plain as day. Yet, sometimes, the simplest solutions require the most difficult roads to traverse. We make things so much more complicated than it needs to be. All God requires of us is to follow simple instructions He gives to us. That's it. No formula, potion, or debate needed. Yet, why are so many of us struggling to adapt to simplicity? I propose 3 powerful words that pretty much sum up the unnecessary struggles we endure. We lack faith. There are no ifs, ands, or buts about it. We are so wrapped up in success, yet we lack the faith to see that success come to fruition. And you don't have to have a psychology professor or doctor to confirm that truth. It's self-evident in and of itself. We are prone to error, that much is true, but most of us cannot overcome certain obstacles due to a lack of faith. Okay, but what does this have to do with the 4 P's of profitability? Everything. It takes faith to launch SpaceX, to run a multi-billion-dollar electric car company, to go boldly where no one has ever gone before. And it takes faith to continue to come up with new and witty inventions that will reshape mankind's living conditions, even if said inventions sound dumb, weird, or out of the question. But guess what? One man decided to change his story so he won't be like the rest of the world. He decided to act on faith. Now, Do you have to be religious to have faith? No, because religion lacks faith. You just have to do these 4 things to not only exercise the faith already given to you, but also keep going even when you don't see results right away. The 4 P's of profitability are as follows. The first one is prayer. Before you do anything, pray. It doesn't matter how much you're making, how successful you are, or how many awards you've won. If you don't give credit to whom credit is due, don't expect to hold on to every shiny thing given to you by the one who made it all possible. The second P is patience. Patience takes faith. They go hand in hand. Without patience, you can have all the faith in the world, yet rush into something headfirst only to get yourself injured along the way. Don't rush what God ordained for you to have. The third P is pull the trigger. If you want to slay a giant in your life, you've got to pull the trigger. Now, what does it mean to pull the trigger? To pull the trigger states that you are one split-second decision away from reaching the fullness of your destiny. You won't have time to question it or think about it. When God tells you to go, go. The moment you second guess it during the decision-making process is the moment you miss out. Period. Don't let second guessing keep you from your destiny. And the last and 4th P is persistence. Once it's all said and done, repeat the first 3 P's. They say it takes 21 days to form a habit. Past 21 days is where less than 30% of people reach success. It takes multiple 21-day cycles to become a true success and even be remotely considered among the elites. Now, I mentioned earlier that it took one man to be different, to reshape his story. If there is one piece of advice everyone should adhere to, it's this. Don't expect God to bless your excuses. Don't take my word for it. In James 1:6-8, it says it plain and simple. But when you ask, you must believe and not doubt, because the one who doubts is like a wave of the sea, blown and tossed by the wind. That person should not expect to receive anything from the Lord. Such a person is double-minded and unstable in all they do. And the truth of the matter is this: we talk ourselves out of the blessing. To add icing on top of the cake, we allow other people to talk us out of the blessing. I know we've heard the words social distancing over and over and over again. But let's take that socially constructive word and add a different meaning to it. You want to be successful? Then do what no one else is willing to do. Socially distance yourself from people who want to bring you down. Love them from a distance. Make yourself scarce for a while. God would rather you get so in tune with His voice and succeed in life than for you to listen to a million different voices telling you that you're no good, that you don't amount to anything, or that you'll never be successful. In summary, the 4 P's of profitability is no secret to success. It's simplistic in terms, yet golden in value. Take it, run with it, and act upon it by faith.